advice have you got for Muslims who hang around with people in bad company, who smoke and drink and have boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff, and they feel bad they're not practicing, but they because they've been through a lot of these people, or because they've known them for a long time, they feel too weak to leave them and start practicing. What advice would you give to them?
The advice I'd give to someone in a situation like that is that they have to remember what is their purpose of life. In particular, we're talking to the Muslim youth. You have to remember why Allah Ta'ala put you on the earth. Now, sometimes we, especially come from Jahiliyyah, when you go through certain situations with individuals, you feel obliged, you feel like you have to stick with the people that you grew up with, or people that you've been through certain struggles and certain hardships through in your past, so you feel like they have rights over you. But as we know in Islam, this is completely different. Our love and hate for the sake of Allah should strictly be loving and hating for the sake of Allah. Now, if you've got a friend or a companion that you're close with, and this person doesn't bring no good in your life, this person helps you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this person keeping you away from the Quran and Sunnah, you shouldn't take this individual as a friend. And if you look at a prime example, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you're on the deen of your companion, you're on the religion of your friend. And it's a prime example. If you see anyone we know, you are similar to the people that you hang around with. You will be on the same vibe. If you're around good people, you have the tendency to be good. If you're around bad people, you're going to have the tendency to be bad. So what advice we give to young people is that they have to think about the purpose of life. Think why Allah Ta'ala put them on the earth, and think, am I going to risk going Jahannam? Am I going to risk going to the hellfire because of my friend or because of this colleague or what have you? So we advise the Muslim youth to think about these things and think that, and be around people who reflect good, so inshallah ta'ala their actions will be good as well. And if you've got a friend, and I know many of us have got friends and it's hard to leave them, you have to think, don't you want good for your friend as well? So you need to be giving your friend dawah and giving them good examples of Islam and calling them back to the Sunnah, so that they can inshallah ta'ala worship Allah, and both of you lot can be on the right path.
Jazakallah khairan. How does someone, a revert, or someone who's coming back to deen, who hangs around with bad company, now they've left them, how do they make friends on deen if they have no friends on deen?
One of the easiest ways to make friends is like go to the masajid, find a masjid what's on the Sunnah and go there, attend there. And if you go to like study circles, go classes, go to regular lectures in the masjid, you're going to start meeting brothers and sisters in that masjid, and people start getting to know your face and whatnot, and you start meeting different people. It's very hard to say, go into a masjid and say, look at this brother, who's good and who's bad. But generally speaking, when you see people attending study circles and whatnot, they're generally people who are striving more. Not saying that they're better than anyone else, but if you see someone they're regular in this classes, regular in the circles, then you can kind of see that this is an individual who's trying their best to get on their deen. So this is the kind of people that you want to befriend. Obviously, we need to make sure we do our research and we just don't pick anyone who looks religious, who's got faux beard, niqab and whatnot. But generally speaking, when you go to like study circles and whatnot, you tend to see people who are trying to get closer to Allah in these kind of environments. So I'd advise them, try and go to the masjid, and obviously if you know other brothers or whatever sisters, tell them to introduce you to other brothers and other sisters that you know who are on the deen, who can also benefit you, inshallah.
You said something about when you first became Muslim, how you decided, what you did to basically start getting on deen and stuff like that. You said it's about meeting someone and hanging around with them.
No, well basically when I first became Muslim, I had a friend who I knew before I was a Muslim, and for me I just stuck with him. Understand? And even to the degree that when I first became Muslim, I used to find it hard. At the start I thought, how am I going to start praying 5 times a day? So what I did, I started hanging around this brother. I was with him every day, and I used to pray all my prayers with him until I got the courage and I was comfortable enough to know that I could start praying on my own. So you find someone that you know you can kick it with, who can relate with you, inshallah ta'ala, and they can be like your companion, can help you go through the struggles, inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan. A man has a girlfriend, or a brother has a girlfriend, or a sister has a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and they're with this person, they're not Muslim, and they say, listen, I'm gonna start practicing everything, or I am starting to practice everything, but I'm not gonna leave this person. I'm gonna give them dawah, have sabr, and inshallah I'll wait till they become Muslim. What advice would you give to this person?
First and foremost, we gotta understand a lot of people get into the situation where they start getting on deen. They might have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they feel like, I want to start worshiping Allah, I want to get closer to Allah, but I love this individual, I've been with this individual for a lot, I've spent a long time, a lot of my life with this individual, and I find it difficult to leave this person. First thing you got to realize is that guidance is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can guide you, it's only Allah ta'ala who guide. So in regards to someone coming to Islam, it's only Allah can guide them. You could show them anything. You could show them Quran, Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ, anything you could show them examples of. And if Allah Ta'ala don't guide them, no one's going to be able to guide them. So first and foremost, what would I advise this individual to do? If you really are sincere, make dua for this person. And the second thing you can do is set example by showing you're practicing that, showing them the Islam in yourself. For many brothers and sisters, they think, I had to stay with this individual and then slowly but surely, inshallah ta'ala, they'll come to Islam. But realistically, you got to look at it like this. You're trying to tell someone to come to Islam, this is the right path, but you're doing something what goes against the religion with this individual, but you expect this person to become Muslim. So you're doing something bad, expecting good to come out of it, and it doesn't really make any sense. So the first thing I would advise the individual to do is step out of that relationship. Make the partner know, listen, the reason why I'm leaving you, not because I dislike you, not because I don't love you anymore. The reason why I'm leaving you because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I'm a Muslim, because I want to worship Allah, because I want to practice the religion properly. So you told that to this individual, and they will respect you for that. And if they have an inclination that they want to look into Islam, they will look into Islam because they will see a good example. But if you're of them people who just tell people, become Muslim, but you have shown no actions of Islam, then no one ain't going to take you serious.
There's people that have fallen so much into major sins that they've just given up. They say, listen, that I'm so bad, I drink, I smoke weed, or this, that, and the other. I'm really weak here. I ain't got the strength to give these things up. And then what they've done, they've just gone totally out. They do every major sin, and they said, Allah's not going to forgive me anyway. I'm finished. There's no point in me praying and doing any stuff, because I'm finished anyway. Well, what advice would you give to this person?
First and foremost, most of the people will say that generally speaking, these people with a lack of understanding the lack of understanding of Tawheed and whatnot. Allah Ta'ala didn't create us in a way that He doesn't expect us to make mistakes and for us to sin. We are not the angels, so we're expected that we're going to sin and do things that are not pleasing to Allah at times. But what does the Prophet ﷺ say? The better sinners are the ones who turn to Allah. So for any single person who's watching this video, you got to understand, every person, every dua, every person who makes videos, who posts tweets, message on Facebook or whatnot, commits sins. Everyone commits sins, some bigger than others, but we all commit sins. None of us are free from that. So just have your hope and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and learn about the religion, because if you knew Allah, you know that you could make tawbah, Allah Ta'ala will forgive you. But if you don't understand Allah, you don't understand the religion, then you have this kind of warped understandings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and think that Allah won't forgive you. And on the end note, what I would say that Allah Ta'ala has made it clear, any sin that you commit, as long as you don't die committing shirk, Allah Ta'ala will forgive you and can forgive you, and Allah knows best.
There's many sisters right now, young, pure, innocent Muslim sisters wearing hijab, going to non-Muslim school, state school, and they have low self-esteem because they come from a household that's very conservative. They don't mix with boys. They very shy and modest and pure, which is excellent. But they see these other girls, who make their uniform like, a mini skirt. And guys checking them out, and they see them, on the weekend talking about on the weekend they're gonna go cinema with this boy and that boy, and they're going on so with this person and that person, and they feel like left out, and they feel kind of down and kind of like, where's my excitement? And they're thinking about maybe taking off hijab, or maybe going to, becoming a girlfriend or something, what advice would you give to these sisters going through a tough time?
I'd say any sister who's going through that, you gotta understand, women are human beings, innit? And every woman wants attention, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the attention you're trying to receive, that's what you need to really think about. If you're looking at, you want men to be chasing you up on the street and moving to you and whatnot, you gotta understand, men who do that stuff only come with one intention. They're not necessarily speaking, they're not gonna want good for you, they just wanna have sexual intercourse with you and just basically use and abuse you. And for a Muslim woman, you gotta understand that, look, you're more than that. That's what the hijab stands for, you're more than that. Do you understand? If a guy comes to you, first and foremost, you can't even see what's underneath your jilbab or hijab and whatnot. So he doesn't even know what he's working with, first and foremost. So, for a person who's interested in the hijab, sister, generally speaking, will be more sincere, and he's going to be looking at other things like her character, how much deen does she know and whatnot. Yeah, these kind of things. They're not just going to be looking at the outward appearance. So with the sisters, what I would say is that, look, try your best, inshallah ta'ala, and look at the examples of Aisha radiallahu anhum and the female sahabiyat. Instead of looking at the people that the kuffar and the non-Muslims use as their role models, because we shouldn't take these people as role models. People who dress half naked and whatnot, they're not the people that we want to be like. You understand? So for the sisters, obviously, like I said, they're human beings and they got needs and desires, and we can understand that and respect that. But look at the examples, look at the people of the past, look at the people who are righteous. You will never come across a person who was righteous who used to act or dress that way. So keep your hope in Allah, remember your purpose of life, and remember you're not the kind of woman who wants to be a girlfriend or someone's side piece. You want to be a wife, you want to be treated with your rights, and this is the best thing for a woman.
If a sister has a half-naked picture on Facebook or Twitter, does lots of likes from males equal that men respect her? Or
okay, I think, come on, like that question here. Any woman, I don't think any woman with a brain would even think that just because you put a heart naked picture and man's liking your picture that people respect you. You put your picture up because you want attention and you're getting what you want. You're getting rewarded for that, isn't it? You put a half naked picture up, you're getting likes, you're getting comments, you're getting what you want. But if she thinks that I'm putting up a half naked picture and I'm getting respect for that, she must be stupid. Like, subhanAllah, you must be really like, some likes equals attention, innit? You're getting attention for whatever you put up, whether it's half naked, whether it's an Islamic picture, it's getting attention, innit? And people are liking it for that purpose. But just because you put up a half naked picture, that's not a respectable thing to do. So how are you going to put up something like that and expect respect? Of course not. People are going to like and say you look sexy, you look nice and whatnot, but it doesn't mean they respect you. The reason why they're saying that because they want something from you, and it's clear, and you've made it evident by putting the picture up there, and that's the kind of people that you're going to draw. You understand? You have to treat people the way you want to be treated, isn't it? So if you put yourself and you're presenting yourself as like a whore or a slag or whatnot, then that's how people are going to treat you, isn't it? But if you put yourself as a respectable person, people will treat respect. It's like everyone's got a uniform. When you see a nurse on the road and she's got a uniform on, you know she's a nurse. You see a fireman, he's wearing, so you know he's a fireman. When you see a police officer, he's got a uniform, and when you see a hoe, you know she's a hoe, innit? And that's the end of it, to be honest with you.
For Islam, you used to sell drugs and do crime and so forth as a source of income. How did you get the confidence when you found out selling drugs was haram to stop and actually start working? Because you have money coming in, and then to stop it, never have to work before, go to interviews and so forth and this, that, and the other. But how do you have the confidence to actually do it?
I know one of the things what helped me is because I know Islamically it's haram. And to think about it, when I know if I'm making money doing illegal stuff, I know I can't put in eating and buying food with this money is putting fire in my belly. And the second thing I know is that at the end of the day, I come from a lifestyle where I had a lot of money before I was a Muslim. And I know money don't bring me happiness. I know it won't bring me happiness. So I'm not chasing money as like I used to, because I've been there and kind of done that. You know, as they say, you've been there, wore the shoes. So what I try to do now is that I'm trying to make money to survive. You know, so working a halal job is good. And obviously we know if you're working a job it's not permissible, there's no barakah in the money. You understand? And what can you do with money when you ain't got no barakah? It will never stretch, and it's just got no blessings in it. So when you look at all these things and you weigh it all up, you just think, you know what, subhanAllah, it don't make no sense me doing all this haram stuff to make money, when I know, especially when Allah Ta'ala has made it clear 50,000 years before He created the heavens and the earth, our risk has been written. So whatever's written for me, that's what I'm going to get anyway. Do you understand? So for me, that was enough for me to seal my heart to say that, you know what, whatever's written for me, I'm going to get it. But it's up to me to choose how I'm going to go and get it. Am I going to get it in a halal way, or I'm going to get it in a haram way? So for me, inshallah ta'ala, I know no matter what, I'm going to get whatever's written for me. So that was enough for me to, you know, it was enough to fulfill my heart, basically.
Jazakallah khair. Music and weed are two of the hardest things for a person to give up. What advice can you give to people in this situation?
Right. And then slowly but surely, what I started to do, I started listening to Quran, but I researched until I found a Quran recited that I personally like, and then from there I kind of stuck with it. And then alhamdulillah, it's not really been a fit. Now obviously I'm a human being, sometimes I hear a track and it's like, wow, I remember that track. I'm a human, but at the same time, alhamdulillah, I'm not of them people who listen to music in their house or their cars. If I hear it, sometimes it's kind of impossible to avoid, but inshallah ta'ala, that was one of the steps that I use. And now alhamdulillah, I listen to poetry and I just listen to Quran. In regards to weed, you know, you just got to keep making dua. Me personally, what made me stop was when I knew that it's an intoxicant, innit? And we know, according to Islam, any intoxicant that you take, yeah, your salah is not answered for 40 days, and you still have to pray. So I was thinking, you know, what's the point of me going through all this just to smoke weed and I still have to pray and my prayer is not being answered? Imagine I die in that state. So it got to the stage that I just said, you know what, subhanAllah, this is long. And I just, alhamdulillah, that was a means for me. Once I heard that hadith, that was a means for me to drop it off.
Jazakallah khair. What advice have you got for converts dealing with their family around Christmas time? You know, the shirk, the celebrations, everyone's come round and they're singing songs and this, that and the other. And what advice would you give to a new convert whose family are all normal Christians, and you know he has to go through this period? What advice would you give him?
First and foremost, I'd say I know Christmas time is a difficult time, even for myself, because that's the only time my family come together. Well, they definitely come together on Christmas, and I'm the only one who's not there. So what we have to remember, for the individual, we have to remember that this celebration is not permissible in Islam. It's not permissible for us to engage in the celebration whatsoever. And if you look at the example of Ibn Qayyum, he made it clear that all the fuqaha, all the 4 imams made it clear that it is not permissible for the believer to take part in these celebrations. Why? Because even if you return their greeting, you're given approval of their kufr, of their disbelief. So it's not permissible for the Muslim to take part in that. Secondly, I would say every year, generally speaking, if you're in the UK, there's always conferences going on around the Christmas time. So try your best to find a conference what's according to the Quran and Sunnah, and try and attend there and be with the Muslims, inshallah ta'ala. And if you're a revert, find other reverts who are guiding yourself, who's in the same situation yourself, maybe go out to dinner, I don't know, stick together. But we have to know, as Muslims, we can't take no part in their celebration whatsoever.
Jazakallah khair.